Getting ready for the puck to drop in the third period on our Monumental Altcast Legends edition. And we're joined now by a Major League Baseball and Washington Nationals legend. He's Mr. National, former World Series champion. Ryan Zimmerman is with us. Zim, it is just awesome to see you again, buddy. Thank you for hopping on the show and for joining us to watch some hockey this evening.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I love what you guys are doing. It's fun to watch, and honored to be a part of it with you.
Brent Johnson, Tarek El-Bashir alongside will be kicking it with Zim to watch these Caps in the third period. I think one of the things that was most fun over the years was the relationship between the Nats and the Caps.
Yeah.
And the fact that when they broke through in 18, winning the Stanley Cup, you guys celebrated the way that you did. And then when you guys won in 19, you returned the favor. I mean, they were a part of your party. None of us, I think, on the outside looking in will ever forget that. But when you look back on those times, what do you make of those memories?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we both kind of went through, I don't want to say the same struggles. I think we're both very, our organizations have been very successful, and we got to the playoffs a ton. We just couldn't quite get to the end, and to see them do it in 18 and then to kind of follow it up and us do it in 19 was a lot of fun. I mean, I've become friends with a lot of those guys, and you kind of felt their pain, like, because we were going through the same stuff. So for both of us to finally break through and then win the Cup and then us win the World Series was really cool.
So, Zim, I bumped into Nicholas Backstrom a couple of weeks ago at the practice facility, and he was telling me that Backy, Osh, you, don't you guys all to go to this, take your kids to the same bus stop or something? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're like carpool dads now, man.
You pick up each other's coffee in the morning and meet out front.
Yeah, all of our kids are kind of the same. I mean, we got our oldest daughters are all in the same grade, and then my second daughter's a year older than Nick and TJ's second, and then our thirds are all in the same class together in preschool. So, I mean, it's just, it's daddy daycare, and we're at the bus stop every morning. But, like the picture up there, we drop them off and try and sneak out. But, it's nice. It's nice to have those guys around. I mean, it's, you go from playing your sport every day or doing things like that, and then you're grinding at home. It's fun to have some friends.
Hey, Zim, just a quick question. You see that? I saw that golf picture up there, but let's say this. Let's say you're closing out a foursome. You already have two buddies, and you got Nicholas Backstrom and TJ Oshie on the side. On the side. Now, both are great,
Johnny.
pretty great golfers.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you calling first? No.
Oh man!
Yeah,
you put me on the spot right now.
You're on TV.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, like you said, they're
just
both.
Take both. You know what? You take one for 9, take the other for 9.
They're both. I honestly don't know. I know Oshie's been in a lot of those pro-ams.
Very good golfers.
Is Backstrom that good? Is he like?
Oh yeah.
Backstrom.
I will say this: if it's a tournament, though, I'll take Backy because his handicap's BS, so I'll get a little bit more straight.
See, there you go. There it is. Yeah, it is BS. Yes, I played with him many times. It's garbage.
Yeah, so if I'm getting him and he's getting 4 strokes or whatever he says he is, I'm taking him because we're going to win that tournament.
Definitely.
Zim, did you grow up, obviously, in Virginia Beach area? Were you a Caps fan at that time, or did you ever get to USA Arena back in the day? Or was that more as you came to D.C. and became a prominent member of the community that you started going to games?
Yeah, the Caps was more when I came to D.C. I grew up, we went to some of the Admirals games down there in Norfolk. Yeah, I say, we would go to a couple a year. My buddy's dad had tickets to kind of all those sports stuff down there. So I started to like the sport when I watched there. And then when I came here and, coming up the same time as Obi, and then getting to know Backy a little bit when they were young, and Mike Green and those guys, we all kind of hung out together. And, the first time I went, I'm like, man, this is this is the coolest sport to watch in person. I mean, the speed, you have a better appreciation when you actually go watch these guys play at the arena. It's incredible to watch. So I kind of just became a fan of the game and a fan of those guys, obviously. I mean, I think hockey and baseball,
let's go.
Yeah, there he is.
Look at that.
Alex
done
Ovechkin
that a few
twice
times.
tonight. Woo! Tarek, I'm going to ask you
All
again.
right, yeah.
Are you sure he's not breaking the record this season?
I am no longer sure.
I mean, give me a break.
I think it might happen in February. This guy is outrageous.
It's so stupid what's happening.
Oh my God, this is number 10?
Wait,
That's 10.
that's 10.
my God.
Watch the way this play set up. He actually started this. I don't know if we'll see it. Yep. He hits him square in the chest. But watch, he's just open.
What a pass.
Now he knows. He's got the wide open net there.
Oh my God.
I'll
We're on
tell you
hat trick
what.
watch, boys.
Yeah.
By the way, Zim just mentioned this. So, Ryan, this is crazy to think about. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're drafted top 5. Your first year in town is Ovi's first year, right? Together.
05.
I believe so. I think, because I got called up that September.
Yeah,
And then I
of 05, yeah.
Yeah, and I believe he started around then as well.
20 years
was
he's
actually-
been doing this.
Yeah, because that was.
I'm so old,
after
guys.
the
I
Olympics.
covered Ryan Zimmerman when he played in the VSHL playoffs. What high school did you go to? You were playing a Northern Virginia school. That's why I was covering it for the Washington Post.
Yeah, I went to Kellam High School. You might have covered we were playing Madison, maybe?
Yes.
Maybe you've been covering
Pudge
that game?
Jorman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pudge,
Yes.
my guy, the
That's a
Warhawk.
Good
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah.
That's
So-
here's- By the way, we're showing video here, Zim. I'm sure you can see of when the
Yep.
boys brought the cup to Nats Park, and I still remember I was at this game. I bumped into a couple of the guys, like in the club level. They were obliterated.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that it was the best.
Okay, still,
So fun.
my favorite memory from those couple of years were, didn't the Nats get onto a Zamboni with their shirts off at Capital One Arena,
Yeah.
like losing their minds
Well, that was
after they won,
yeah,
right?
after the World Series, they
Yeah,
returned the favor.
yeah.
But no, so
was that Adam Eaton? Wasn't
Yes,
it?
exactly right.
Yeah.
But the Caps, when they came to Nats Park, they kept showing them in the box.
Yes.
And they're chugging and they're having a good time. And then the Nats returned the favor. What do you remember about when they brought the Stanley Cup to the ballpark?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously probably the coolest trophy in all of sports, and I'll never. They had it in Davey's office, and they let us go in there, and everyone was taking a picture with it, and I'll never forget. I went to go grab it, not knowing the rules, and the guy.
The keeper of the cup.
Or whatever said, you would have thought, I've never seen someone move that fast or yell at me. I've probably never been yelled at as much as I was by that guy, and I'm like, holy cow, man, I'll put it down. And,
Hey, this thing's been at the bottom.
obviously
of the
I get it,
before.
but
Come on.
yeah, but no, those guys came, and then when we won, they said, hey, you guys had us. I remember them reaching out, and they said, if you can, let's do just kind of like a guys' night. So hopefully, if we win, you can come down after and hang in the clubhouse, and we were rolling pretty good. Not quite as good as they were. I mean, hockey guys are professionals. Baseball, we're up there, but we weren't.
You think hockey guys
swimming
go earlier in whatever that draft is than baseball guys?
I mean, they also, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got Russians, you got Europeans. It's a different animal.
Sandin.
Man.
We might not let Zim might have to be here
That
every
was.
period. Sandin just scored his second straight game with a goal.
And who was that the start? Because he made an amazing play. Who was that?
The drop pass?
Yeah, Scarbosa.
Yeah, I think it was.
Scarbosa with the drop pass after he got hooked. That could have been a penalty shot. Watch this. Watch him get hooked right here. Arm comes up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
What a pass.
Caps with the last 4 goals of this game right now.
That-
5-1 lead.
I mean,
Oh, that's gorgeous.
that's
nice.
amazing. Eyes in the back of his head. Scarbosa's back in the lineup.
I gotta put some
All the guys that are getting in the lineup tonight for the first time are making an impact.
they're making an impact.
Hey, by the way, speaking of the Nats Caps camaraderie, so Zim, you took part in our buddy Carl Olsner's softball game. He did a really nice event over at Capital One Park. In fact, last time he was here with us on the Allcast, he was talking about it. Yeah. But I texted him after. I said, "How did it go?" He told me that you put on a show. He said you still got it.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, I'm going out there and playing, and I think everyone sort of has the intention that we're just going to go out there and have a good time and take it easy. And our team, I think Willie was on my team, Backy was on my team. I forget who else was on it, but I'm like, where do you guys want me to play? And they're like, well, I think you should play shortstop, obviously. I think Smith Pelly was playing first. And I'm like, all right, cool, that'll be fun. We'll just kind of take it easy, have a good time. And like the very first hitter hits a ball in the 6th hole, and I'm like, backhand, Jeter jump throw, like left oblique is like on the AstroTurf after I throw it. But like, I think we all had that in our mind that we were just going to take it easy, and as soon as you start competing, all those guys, they just go for it. But I mean, that was such a good event. Carl, they do such good work with their foundation. But we're all looking forward to doing it again afterwards. We were telling them, man, you need to plan it again next year. We all had a blast.
Yeah. And did I hear correctly? Have you suited up in goal? I
witnessed it.
And faced like an Ovechkin shot? Like, tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. So that, it seems, now that you guys are asking me all these questions, it seems that also happened over a couple bottles of wine. So,
we're noticing a trend.
Yeah. Me and Nikki were drinking wine, and I'm like, guys, I could catch a puck.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why don't you come out? And I'm like, all right, I'll come out. And like, I mean, I had no chance.
Were they actually ripping it? It looked like they were. They were actually.
So they started off like real nice and easy, and then once they realized that I could actually sort of catch it, like they started getting it going a little bit.
Wow.
But
that's awesome. We're going to continue with Ryan Zimmerman in a moment. We're at the end of that story. You're watching the Altcast. The Caps blowing out the Blues. Monumental Altcast enjoying what has been a blowout for the Capitals over the Blues. And you got to go back now to the 18 Cup run. There is Max Scherzer and Ryan Zimmerman. By the way, Max is look at Max.
And the horn guy next to him.
So hilarious. Zim fired up. They put the helmets on. They got their sticks. So I remember seeing them walk up. I was sitting not far from them. And people have been doing that throughout the whole playoff run. They grabbed the mic. No one had ever put helmets on and had sticks.
I know.
You guys,
with visors, too.
Right,
with visors, just in case, you get splashed in the eye.
Was that your idea or Scherzer's idea, Zim?
So they asked us to do it, and I'm like, hey, you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. He's like, but if we're going to do it in typical Max fashion, he's like, let's do it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, whenever Max says something like that, you get a little nervous. And he's like, you're texting with the person. Like, ask him if we can get like sticks and visors and gloves.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And he's like, let's just go for it. So, along with obviously the video just showed, but that was fun, and like just to see the environment and the atmosphere for a game like that was something I'll never forget.
Who was the player who went viral in the video? He was like, a puck. It's like a baseball for the hockey.
Oh, Para.
Yes, Para.
Yeah. Para. That was actually one of the funniest clips ever. That was
amazing.
I never saw that.
Oh, yeah.
So it was the night the Nats came over, and Zim, you'd have to tell us how it went, but pretty much it sounded like you guys just stayed at the arena forever, like going out on the ice.
Oh, yeah.
But they were explaining to Para what a puck was, right, Zim?
Yeah, and we were, you were talking about how they got after it. I remember, and I probably won't be able to answer any questions about what happened after the game because I probably don't remember any of it. But I remember Adam Eaton pouring beer from the suite down into the concourse into someone's mouth.
Uh-huh.
And then we were all on the ice, and then after they won that game, so we all went down there, and then everyone thought it'd be a great idea to go out on the ice. And I remember like we were trying to do slap shots and all this stuff, and I woke up. I tried one and then fell pretty hard, and I woke up the next morning and like the complete right side of my face is like sore and swollen, and I'm like, I think I texted Nick or someone. I'm like, dude, why is my face swollen? Right. He's like, dude, you tried to like hit a slap shot and completely like feet over your head.
Not so much here or here.
Yes.
That's a Tommy boy,
and like
right?
your face hit the ice before anything else. And he's like, you popped right back up and just kept rolling. But no, we've had such a good relationship with those guys, and I think it's great for the city. It's great for the fans, and I've said all along, it's a special city to play in, and it's cool to be a part of stuff like that.
You wanted to ask him
Yeah,
about
well,
his
you know
glove.
what? I got a few questions I want to ask you. We had Adam Eaton on last season for an all-cast, and now we got a scrum in here.
By the way,
like
what about you guys have benches clearing brawls? Oftentimes it's kind of like, running out there and chatting. But what do we think? Should we be able to police the game of just dropping the batter's gloves and going at it in the infield in baseball?
I say this all the time because I'm like, you know me, I'm a very non-confrontational person. I'm not, so everyone's like, oh, you must love it when the bench is clear and all that. And it's like, not really. Like there's 30 grown men within like a 25-foot radius of each other. And you got like guys coming behind you that are going to hit you in the head. Like I always say this, if we did what hockey did, like if you got hit by the pitcher and you wanted to go, and the pitcher said, let's go, and then you went and fought, nobody in baseball, there's maybe 5 or 10 people that would do that.
I can see what he's saying.
They all
that makes
talk,
sense.
they all talk, and then they wait till the catcher comes in front of them.
Yeah.
And then they act like they're going to go out there. And, like, I tell everyone, I got kids and stuff. I'm not fighting another grown man because someone got hit in the ribs with baseball.
I'm a pessimist. All right.
That's pretty low on my to-do list. So I think when I watch the hockey, I mean, that's the way it should be done. I mean, if you want to go, you ask the guy, and if he wants to go, then you go, and if not, you continue on.
And like you said, like five people maybe in baseball would do that. Like that's why that job is so tough in hockey. That's why you don't see it nobody wants to, get in a job for his life and just get punched in the face. Right. That's just not fun, especially when you have ice skates on.
Right.
Yeah.
And getting back to Zim, I really wanted to ask you this question because I asked Eaton last year, and it's kind of a tough question. You face Ovechkin, you put the pads on and whatnot, and all right. But there are two things that I see in professional sports as being probably some of the hardest things to do. And that one is hitting a baseball. I don't understand how you do it. And I do, and I think I'm biased here, as being a goaltender. And I think that the pressure of both, right, is so enormous. So I'm going to ask you, like, what do you think is more pressurized? Obviously, it's not a question you easily answer because of different situations and scenarios. But being in the batter's box or being in the goal crease, they're both pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the skill in hockey and what they do hand-eye, and obviously the goalie, and you just add the added disadvantage of being on skates. A lot of these guys have probably skated before they walked.
Yeah.
But just what they do with their body control and the speed that they play with, and just on ice skates, to me is amazing. Baseball. I like I said, like you said, you're biased. I think I'm a little bit biased with hitting. I think hitting is one of the most incredible things to be able to do.
Yeah.
Just because you're on, I don't want to say on the defense, but the pitcher has every advantage pretty much. And we're sitting there and we have less than a second to react to, some guys have 3, 4, 5 pitches and you don't know what's coming. So it's a little different, but I mean, for me, if I'm answering, obviously I think hockey is way harder. Just being on skates, and I I skated a little bit growing up, but not enough to do anything like they do. But to be able to move and the agility that these guys have on skates, like I said, that's why I love going to watch. I don't think people appreciate on TV what these guys are doing and how fast and also how big these guys are. It's for me, it's the best sport to watch, and I love everything about it.
Zim, it's a little different because obviously it's 82 games versus 162. But I'm curious for your thoughts on Ovi's just durability and longevity. I mean, we talked about you guys coming in together. Like I'm just a dude on the couch, right? But for you, played pro sports and you know like what it takes to stay on top of your game. 20 years later, he's on pace for 58 goals right now. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a freak because he's one of the best of all time. I think, and what I learned, and I think he would probably tell you some of the same stuff, is the sad part about sports is you almost get better as you get older. Like, because mentally,
breaks down, yeah.
Yeah, your body is.
Ryan Zimmerman of the Nats with us on the Altcast. Love catching up with him. Break tells us we got to go, though. 5-1 Caps over the Blues.
Sam.
Monumental Altcast Legends Edition. The Capitals are working the Blues on their way to win number 10 on the season. And one of the legends we're having on tonight is Ryan Zimmerman of the Washington Nationals. Zim, we had to bring you back because I wanted to hear what you had to say. That was interesting. You were saying maybe because the game slows down, you got to explain it, but why you think as you get older, as a player, things change for you?
Yeah, I mean, the more experience you get in anything, the better you get. And I was talking to David Ortiz after we won the World Series, and he's like, man, I just hated that my body was starting to break down because the more at bats I get, or like you were saying with Ovi, the more games he plays, where he knows where he needs to be more than anyone. You might be a little bit smarter. They just scored again.
Nick Michael is a star.
Yeah,
Nick Michael's
that's
a
number
star.
10 for
Nick
him.
Michael's a star. Do you see the pass by Strome again? That's 3 apples.
I can't believe how good they are.
They are
They're the best hockey team in the world, Zim.
By my count, he's tied with Ovi now. They both have 10 goals, right?
Yes, he is. Because Ovi has 2 tonight. They both have 8. Yeah. They both have 2 tonight.
Watch how he holds here, waits for the defenseman to jump up right there. And
that feed was ridiculous.
Come on.
Deke.
Sorry,
McMichael, by the way.
So he's also on pace for 58 goals.
Just what a breakout. This is the James Wood here of the Capitals. This is the guy that's the future here, Zim.
I love it. I love watching this, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to watch it with you guys talking the hockey and doing all that, because I know the game, but I don't know it. So watching it with you guys is fun to listen.
But to put a bow on what you were saying, there is something to that with Ovi, right? He's reinvented himself. A lot of his goals now, we were talking about this the other night. If you look at a spray chart, like baseball style, of where his goals come from, a hot sheet or whatever, it used to be his office or out of, closer to the perimeter. It's all around the net now. He's a completely different guy if you watch 20 years ago Ovi.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, you get a little bit slower as you get older. The league obviously knows where he's going to be at too, and he was so good. I mean, he's still really good, obviously, but I think when you're younger and you're fast, like you're almost matchup proof because you're so good. And as you get a little bit older and as the league continues to adjust to you, and they're not going to continually let you just beat them the way that you beat them. So watching him adapt and learn how to play a little bit differently, and like you guys said, his spray chart's different now, and it's sort of like when a pitcher adds a changeup. It doesn't even have to be a good changeup.
Right.
It's just now that it's on, like, it's a 4% changeup. Like, so as a hitter, I know there's not a great chance that I'm going to get a changeup, but I have to have it in the back of my mind that I'm going to get a changeup. So, now that people know that he's not always going to score from that one spot. I mean, he probably still scores a lot of his goals from that one spot, but if he moves around a little bit more, they can't just key on him right there. So, it's just it's continually adapting and finding a way. And like, I don't care what sport you play. Like, if you get older and you start to break down, I mean, no game waits for anybody. Like, baseball doesn't wait for anybody. Hockey doesn't wait for anyone. Like, if you're not producing, you're out, no matter who you are. So I think the best ones find a way to adapt and and continue to be the best. And I think that's what we're seeing these last couple of years.
Zim, this is a treat for us, and I know for a
So
lot of
much
Caps
fun.
fans.
Yeah.
Great.
Can't thank you enough, man, just for being an awesome ambassador for DC Sports, but for a few minutes tonight as well. We appreciate you.
Thanks,
No,
Zim.
this is fun, man,
Thank
and
you.
looking forward to get out there and watching these boys in person.
Yeah, it's been a blast early this year. 6-1. The Caps lead the Blues with 7:50 and counting to play.
Let's go, Logan.
Oh my God!
It's 6-1 and he's doing that.
That's crazy.
It's 6-1 and he's doing that.